Don't have to run. Don't have to run over anybody, and you can go either direction because everything in the park goes in a great big circle. You'll end up, go either direction, you'll end up back by the entrance and then the manatee program at 11:30. At 12:30 they will be doing a program on the bridge between the hippo and the alligators also, so try to be there at that time. If you haven't been to the park before, come back and visit us again. The animals are different all the time. We have new exhibits all the time and improvements going on all the time. Did you see the wolves yet?
Yes.
Yes. Did you hear, is there somebody over there talking about the wolves today? No. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of history on the wolves. Eastern red wolves used to inhabit all of this territory that we live in the eastern United States, particularly here in Florida and the southeast. Eastern red wolves probably predate the timber wolf and the big western, the gray wolf, the big wolves that people think of out west. They date back 25,000 years. They were declared extinct in the wild in 1980. Everybody know what extinct means? Somebody tell me what extinct means. What? Right.
It means gone.
Gone, absolutely. Gone forever. Okay? Eastern red, and I don't have a microphone, folks. I apologize, but if you want to come down and join us in front, that's as far as my voice goes. So Eastern red wolves were declared extinct in the wild in 1980. That means they were gone forever. But they had 14 of them in captivity. Okay, so they started a captive breeding program, and about 3 generations later, they were able to start releasing them to the wild. We have a couple packs now that exist in the wilds of North Carolina. Eastern red wolves are the only large mammal that has ever been successfully reintroduced to the wild after being declared extinct in the wild. So it's pretty cool that we've got 3 brothers over there that just turned a year old this past year. This is one of the only places in the country where you could see 2 critically endangered mammals, the eastern red wolf and the Florida panther, both less than 100 in population out there in the wild before they will be extinct or gone forever. So on behalf of the Florida Park Service, I'd like to welcome you to our wildlife program today. My name is Deb. This beautiful bird's name is Kiowa, and she's come out today to help me talk about birds of prey in general and about owls specifically. We actually have 5 types of birds of prey around the world, and I've given you one of them, owls. The others are eagles, falcons, hawks, and kites. 5 types of birds of prey. What does that phrase mean? It means they hunt and eat other living things, and that's why they're so valuable to us. They hunt and eat rats and mice and snakes and big insects, things that would overwhelm us in population without these valuable birds, and that's why they're protected. They're federally protected in this country. They're protected around the world, even in third world countries, because of what they eat. Therefore, the value that they provide to us humans. They're also called raptors. A definition of a raptor is a bird of prey with strong beaks and talons. So that's what you'll see on all of them, the commonalities: very strong, curved, meat-tearing beak, and extremely strong, sharp, flesh-piercing talons. Commonalities between all those species. Let's talk about our owls. One of the most fascinating of all our birds of prey, one of my personal favorites. We have over 200, save your room right down here in front, folks, if you like. We have over 200 species of owls around the world. They've adapted to the desert and the jungle and the Arctic. They live on every single continent except Antarctica. Smallest owl in the world is called the least pygmy owl. It lives in the Amazon jungles, and it's 4 inches tall. Okay, eats insects, obviously, at that size. The largest owl in the world is actually here in North America, up in Canada, as far north as you can go towards the Arctic Circle, where there's still trees. It's called the great gray owl, and it's 3 feet tall. A big difference between 3 feet and 4 inches. Here in North America, Canada, the United States, and Mexico, we have 19 species of owls, and right here in Florida we have 5, which I'll tell you a little about. We have 2 small owls. The first one is called the eastern screech owl, common throughout the eastern United States, which pretty much means from the Rocky Mountains east. The little screech owls go about 6 to 8 inches tall. They have gold eyes. They have feather tufts at the top of the head that people think are ears. They're not. I'll tell you about ears in a minute. Those are actually called display feathers, and they use them to display mood and to camouflage themselves. The little screech owls, they're very good at camouflaging. I've walked up to them in the woods, been a foot away, never even knew it was there until it blinked at me, because they look like one of those big long-leaf pine cones. But they are one of the few owls that will willingly move in among our urban neighborhoods and live among our houses if we give them shelter. This happens to be a screech owl box on this post right up here next to me, and I'll talk about shelter a little more shortly. But obviously at 6 inches tall, they only weigh 6 ounces. When I have one on my glove, I have to keep looking at it because it's like it doesn't weigh anything at all. And they're pretty vulnerable. But favorite food of a screech owl is cockroaches. So that's a nice little owl. No, ick. That's a good thing. That's a nice owl to have around to take care of those kind of pests. The other small owl we have is very unique in the eastern United States. The only place you can find it is here in Florida, and that is a burrowing owl. Any of you kids see the movie or read the book Hoot? Well, you might want to do that. It's the book and the movie the background story is about the endangered nature of these little burrowing owls. The burrowing owls, they're endangered, they're listed as a species of special concern. The only place you can still find them in Florida, and they're becoming increasingly more difficult to find, is sometimes around the edges of golf courses or subdivisions in soft sandy soil, as long as they're not disturbed. Then we have the most common owl around the world, and that is a barn owl. Now the barn owl physically lives on every single continent except Antarctica. And barn owls are not a woodland owl. Kiowa is a woodland owl. We're going to talk about her in a minute. But barn owls like open fields and meadows. They roost in abandoned buildings, church steeples, and barns. They are nicknamed the farmer's best friend, and the reason for that is 95% of a barn owl's diet is mice. Which pretty much means that one barn owl, who only weighs a little bit more than a pound itself, will eat close to 75 pounds of mice a year, which is more than most of you kids weigh. And if we translate that number a little bit, it's estimated that one barn owl will eat 11,000 mice in its lifetime. So a pair of them around any farm make a huge dent in the rodent population. And I have a flight cage over on the other side of the boardwalk with 2 barn owls in it. Now they are the most nocturnal of all our owls, so they're not real active this time of day, but I think you'll be able to see at least one of them when you're over there. And they're a beautiful owl, very distinctive heart-shaped face. Once you see one, you'll always recognize it. Then we have Kiowa here. Now Kiowa is a barred owl. That's B-A-R-R-E-D. Barred. See the bars in her coloring? Now picture her up against the trunk of an oak tree, and she's going to disappear right into her background. She loves this environment, anywhere in the eastern United States where there's woods and water. And she actually shares this environment with another one of our birds of prey, and that's the red-shouldered hawk, the medium-sized hawk with the red caps on their shoulder and the stripes on their tail. And I say share because the hawks are hunting during the daytime, which makes them diurnal. That's your word for the day. And the owls are hunting at night, which makes them nocturnal. So as long as prey is plentiful, they have no trouble sharing the same area. And I've got 3 barred owls for you in a natural display over on the other side of the boardwalk. Then we have the largest owl in Florida. It's also the largest owl in most of North America, and that's our great horned owl. Now the big great horned owls, let's see, my big great horned owl stands 2 feet tall, okay? She weighs 4 pounds, and she can carry 3 times her own weight. Think about that for a minute, because what it means is that little dog or cat that you turn out loose at night just became part of the food chain. Great horned owls are top predators, the top predator out there. Everything's afraid of them. And that great horned owl, what do I have over there? I've got 3 on display for you over on the other side of the boardwalk. When you see them, you will notice that their talons are almost as large as my hand, and they have 500 pounds of pressure in those talons per square inch. Now that compares to an average man that's got about 40 pounds of pressure per square inch. When they grab a hold of something, their prey, they snap it, kill it, and they don't let go till they want to. So great horned owls, beautiful owls. Take a look when you're over there. Their horns are actually not horns. Again, they're the display feathers at the top of the head.